It was the moment fans had been waiting for, and the moment skeptics swore would never come. For nearly a decade, whispers followed Caitriona Balfe and Sam Heughan everywhere they went. Every glance on the red carpet, every laugh in an interview, every fiery kiss on Outlander was dissected, magnified, and turned into evidence of a secret romance. For years, both actors dodged the questions with grace, insisting they were nothing more than colleagues, nothing more than friends. But now, the waiting is over. Caitriona Balfe has confirmed what millions dared only to hope. The rumors of romance with Sam Heughan are true. The revelation came quietly, almost too quietly for the shockwaves it unleashed. During a press appearance, Caitriona was asked once again about the endless speculation. Instead of laughing it off, instead of deflecting with her usual elegance, she paused. The silence was deafening, and then, with a measured voice and the faintest smile, she said the words that would change everything. Sam has been more than a co-star to me. He's been my partner in every sense of the word. The room froze. Journalists sat stunned, pens hovering mid-air. Cameras blinked as if they too needed a moment to register the confession. For a heartbeat, the world held its breath. And then, the floodgates opened. Headlines erupted within minutes. Caitriona Balfe confirms love with Sam Heughan. It's official. Outlander stars together at last, from on-screen passion to real-life romance. Social media detonated. Twitter trended with hashtags like #SamandCaitriona, #OutlanderLove, and, most tellingly, #FinallyConfirmed. Instagram fan pages that had spent years piecing together photos, theories, and timelines rejoiced. TikTok filled with clips of Jamie and Claire's most iconic scenes, set to captions proclaiming, "It wasn't just acting after all." For longtime fans, Caitriona's confirmation was vindication. They had always believed the chemistry between Sam and Caitriona was too powerful to be confined to fiction. Their embrace on screen was too real. Their banter off-screen too natural. Their loyalty to each other too deep. Now, at last, they had proof. "We knew it," fans screamed across comment sections. "They've been in love this whole time." But not everyone reacted with unbridled joy. For some, Caitriona's words reopened old wounds. Her marriage to Tony McGill had been a constant reminder that the rumors were just that, rumors. Though private and reserved, Tony represented the part of Caitriona's life untouched by Hollywood speculation. Now, with her confirmation, critics questioned whether the lines had blurred long before anyone admitted it. Was this a new love, or the revelation of something that had been simmering beneath the surface for years? The confession also raised questions about timing. Why now? After years of denials, after carefully crafted boundaries, what made Caitriona decide to confirm the truth at this moment? Some argued it was a gesture of liberation, an end to living under the weight of secrecy. Others whispered that it was strategic, perfectly timed with the upcoming Outlander finale, designed to amplify interest in the show's last chapters. Cynics called it publicity, romantics called it destiny. Sam, for his part, has not yet spoken. His silence only adds fuel to the fire. Will he echo Caitriona's words with his own public confirmation? Or will he remain the enigmatic figure he has always been, letting her declaration stand alone? Paparazzi now swarm his every step, desperate to capture a reaction, a look, a hint of acknowledgement. Until he speaks, speculation will only intensify. Meanwhile, Caitriona's demeanor has shifted subtly. There is no longer the nervous laughter that used to accompany questions about Sam. No longer the quick pivot to another topic. Instead, she wears a calmness, a certainty, as though relieved of a burden she has carried too long. To some, that serenity is proof of love set free. To others, it is the calm before a storm of backlash, as critics and fans alike dissect every moment of her past and present. For now, one truth remains undeniable. Caitriona Balfe has confirmed the unconfirmable. The romance rumors are no longer whispers, they are reality. But confirmation brings with it a new kind of drama. The world, having long demanded an answer, must now wrestle with its consequences. Will this revelation be celebrated as the love story of the decade, or condemned as a scandal that could upend two of television's brightest careers? The story has only just begun. The world did not take long to respond. Within hours of Caitriona Balfe's confirmation, the entertainment industry erupted. What had once been whispered in fan forums and hinted at in grainy paparazzi photos now stood as truth, spoken aloud by Caitriona herself. And while millions rejoiced, the shockwaves were far from simple. For devoted fans, the revelation was nothing short of a dream come true. They flooded social media with celebratory posts, turning timelines into digital shrines of Sam and Caitriona's love story. Edits of Jamie and Claire's most romantic scenes were set to trending love songs, captions reading, "It was always real." Some described it as a victory, proof that their years of defending the possibility of an off-screen romance had not been in vain. The joy was palpable, almost feverish. But for others, Caitriona's words felt like betrayal. Her marriage to Tony McGill had long served as a counterpoint to the rumors, a reminder that her personal life was separate from her work. With one confirmation, that carefully constructed boundary dissolved. Critics asked the uncomfortable questions. Had this romance blossomed only recently, or had it existed quietly for years? Were fans misled, or worse, deceived? The whispers of scandal grew louder with every passing hour. The media, predictably, seized on both narratives. Glamour magazines published glowing spreads with headlines like, "Hollywood's New Power Couple," celebrating Sam and Caitriona as the embodiment of timeless romance. But tabloids took a darker turn, dragging Tony McGill's name back into the spotlight, speculating on timelines, hinting at secrets. Some even claimed this was the scandal that could tarnish Caitriona's carefully curated image of elegance and integrity. Meanwhile, Sam Heughan's silence became its own kind of headline. Every movement he made was tracked. His car leaving his home, his appearance at the gym, his absence from social media. Did his refusal to comment mean he disagreed with Caitriona's statement? Or was he simply choosing to protect their new reality from the ravenous hunger of the press? Fans argued endlessly, waiting for him to speak, desperate for his side of the story. Within Hollywood, the revelation sparked both excitement and anxiety. Casting directors and producers recognized the publicity value of the couple's romance, predicting skyrocketing interest in their future projects. But behind the scenes, executives fretted over whether the story would overshadow the final chapters of Outlander. Would fans watch the show for Jamie and Claire, or for the blurred line between Sam and Caitriona? Could the series survive when fiction and reality had finally collided? For Caitriona, the aftermath was both liberating and suffocating. She had carried the weight of secrecy for years, carefully deflecting, laughing off questions, protecting both her work and her private life. Now, with her words out in the open, she walked a new path, one that offered freedom but also exposed her to relentless scrutiny. Her every gesture with Sam would now be interpreted as confirmation, contradiction, or scandal. There was no middle ground left. And yet, through the chaos, there was something undeniably powerful about the moment. Caitriona's decision to confirm the romance was not just about love, it was about ownership. Ownership of her story, her choices, her truth. In a world where narratives are often written by tabloids and twisted by speculation, she had reclaimed control, however fleeting. Still, the questions remained. What would this mean for Sam and Caitriona as individuals? Could they withstand the global spotlight now trained directly on their relationship? Would their love be celebrated as Hollywood's greatest romance, or devoured by the very fame that made it possible? The fanbase, too, found itself divided. Forums once united in devotion splintered into factions. Those who celebrated, those who doubted, and those who felt conflicted. Some declared undying support, vowing to defend the couple against all criticism. Others, unable to reconcile the confession with the past, expressed disillusionment. "I don't know if I can watch the same way anymore," one longtime fan confessed. And through it all, one truth grew clearer. Confirmation was not the end of the story, but the beginning of a far more dangerous chapter. By confirming the romance, Caitriona Balfe had thrown open the gates to a world of endless speculation, praise, criticism, and pressure. The love story fans had dreamed of was now real, but reality is far harsher than fiction. As the dust settled, one haunting question lingered in the air. Was this the fairy tale ending everyone wanted? Or the first step into a storm that could destroy everything Sam and Caitríona had built?